Hello, hey guys, I still remain Chica as well, and I'm your regular host, bringing you talks on domestic violence. I'm super excited to have you guys on the show today, and I'm super excited to bring this discussion with you guys today. And probably this is gonna be like an open discussion, even though a lot of you are watching from different places in the world. But I'll just go straight to my topic today and allow you guys to, ponder over it. So, I I was just at home yesterday and I was receiving a lot of news. Friends were calling me, some people were reaching out to me on my Instagram channel. Regarding an issue that involves a businessman who allegedly, as the news says, beat the wife to death. This is not new, and it's not going to be new. It's not a new event. These are something that has been happening all over the world, happening in Nigeria, happening in other African countries, and even in foreign countries. Domestic violence, for those of you who may not be enlightened, the question is, what do you know about domestic violence? Domestic violence is real, very, very real. And we put us so much effort to make sure that we educate you guys. You are informed. And something you need to realize is that your voice is your freedom. Your voice will set you free. And this message is especially for those who are going through one thing or the other in their marriages, in their families, relationships, or even at workplaces. So, like I said earlier on, some people reached out to me reporting about domestic violence case about a businessman who was said to have beaten the wife to death in Lagos State, Isolo Axis precisely. Now, this businessman, his name is Sunday Okafor, from what I heard, and the deceased, which is the wife, is Blessing Okafor. And from the news we also gathered, it was learned that they've been married for 12 years. Unfortunately, they don't have any kids so far. Now, married for 12 years. And this man eventually killed this lady by brutally beating her, molesting her. Now, I was shocked when I heard the news. May the soul of the departed continue to rest in peace. I was very shocked because for 12 good years you've been living with a beast in your house. He has been beating you, nagging you, maltreating you, doing to you all sorts of things. And you kept calm, kept quiet, and you continue living in that same space with this beast. Please, it's high time that you guys need to take proactive actions. It's high time that you need to do the right things at the right time. The worst thing about domestic violence is when it's happening to you and you kept quiet. That means you will sink in that place. And that's the more reason why I continue to emphasize that no matter what you do, look for someone to speak to. Talk to your family, talk to your close friends, and if you are not getting any results, go to the authorities. Depending on the state where you are, there are state governments that have agencies that fight or that makes provisions for issues like this. For instance, Lagos State here, you can talk to DSVRT, you can talk to Domestic Violence NG, you can talk to so many other agencies in Lagos that will provide help for you. So back to the gist. Okay, Mr. Okafor, who is a businessman at Ladipo, he sells spare parts. And you know something about this businessmen, compared with the current economic challenges we have today in Nigeria. And I tell you guys that, listen, finances can lead people into domestic violence. More especially now that, especially in Nigeria, things are going backwards, things are going left-sided. So Mr. Okafor has been reported to have beaten the wife, and when they took the deceased body to the hospital, it was I think from what I heard that they were administering treatment to her. She died, and by the time they took her body back to her hometown, it was realized that she had bruises all over her body. So the question is this: who has she told about what was currently going on? For 12 good years you were married, you didn't have any child, and this man has been perpetrating violence against you. Did you report to the authorities? Did you report to agencies? What actions were taken? Okay, now, and I understand, and this is what I'm going to talk about now, is one of the things that abusers usually use to kind of like cage victims. So there's what we call psychological abuse. Last week I tried to shed a little bit light on what psychological abuse is all about, and I informed you guys that psychological abuse is a behavior intended to undermine a person's well-being and self-esteem. This is a very killer type of domestic violence. It's very brutal. You're living with your husband, and his behaviors is always directed at undermining you, undermining your well-being, and also your self-esteem. It's a silent killer. Psychological abuse is a silent killer, and there are two forms of psychological abuse, which are mental abuse and emotional abuse. Like I said, these two are usually used interchangeable, and they are similar though. Now, if you look at this, you realize that when the abusers have tried to put you in that state of confinement where you see yourself as having no worth, you lack self-esteem, you are not confident about yourself, you'll be asking yourself, am I not good? I'm good for nothing? You'll be self-blaming yourself for every action that he takes on you. So, this psychological abuse we are talking about is usually verbal. Sometimes the perpetrators use words. They use words. It can come in the forms of words, which is verbal, and it could be mental. It could also be emotional. And the sole aim of all these actions is just to cause damage by undermining their well-being, self-esteem, or mental health. And for record's sake, whether you are a husband, you are a boyfriend, or you are a dad, please note that when you criticize, intimidate, or call someone all sorts of names, you are mentally abusing people. When you call your child, you're a goat, you're stupid, you are nothing, you are not good, you are nothing but a useless person. Hey, oh my God, let me see. When you start calling people all these sort of names, because why are you even calling people all these sorts of names? Because you feel that you are in a position to do so. Maybe you are a little bit financially advantaged. You have financial advantage over these people, and that's why you can decide to do anyhow, do anything you want to do. But let me tell you, if the law catches you, you will be imprisoned. You will be persecuted and imprisoned. So now, let us even talk a little bit about emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is a form of psychological abuse that is intended to harm a person's self-esteem. And like mental abuse, emotional abuse equally is very dangerous. So people are seeing you behave in a certain way that you behave, but they don't truly understand why you behave the way you behave. And more especially, this is mostly related to partners who are codependent, who are living together, or even married couples. So these victims are usually controlled by another person. How do they do that? They do it by using the victim's emotion to control them, such as shame or embarrassment. My people, desist from anything that is called domestic violence. When you shout at your partner, you are showing traces of domestic violence. And if your partner did not do anything or take any action based on the way you shouted at them, you threatened them by your words, you pushed them, you shoved them, and they continue keeping quiet, watching you take these actions, that is to say that they are giving you the opportunity to still repeat it again. And the more you do it again, the more you have the tendency of killing these victims. And when I say killing these victims, I mean it can accidentally happen. Another thing that people also need to be aware of is you see, anger. I advise people to always control your anger. I mean, we are human beings. Everybody gets angry at one point or the other in their life, but that's not the reason why every moment, every little thing, you burst into anger, you feeling agitated. My people, it's high time that we take these things easy. It's high time. If a family marries their daughter to you, if a family hand their daughter over to you and ask you to please take care of their daughter, the security of that person lies with you. Whatever thing that happens to that person, you are solely responsible for it. I cannot marry my daughter to an irresponsible son of another man. Please, and please, this message is to all men out there. When you marry a daughter, an innocent girl, a daughter who is coming into your life to help you, a daughter whose mission is to help you become who you've been destined to be, I encourage you, no matter what situations you go through, no matter how hard that journey might seem to be, always cherish that partner, because women are small gods. Women are small gods. And I hope this message teaches some of you some lessons, because the thing about domestic violence is that if you don't speak up, you will kick the bucket in that situationship. So your voice is your freedom. Speak up and set yourself free. I will have to end it here for today. Thank you guys. I'll see you in my next video.